On the other hand, in Canada, there are a lot of funds, a lot of money sitting there and not being used. I was told that in the first year there will be no vacation whatsoever, not moving anywhere forward, not changing, not leveling up. Hello and welcome to my channel, guys. My name is Aida and I'm Ukrainian-Canadian expat who moved to Berlin, to Germany. And on my channel I'm talking about life in Germany, my experience in Berlin, traveling in Europe and also around Germany, and giving some tips. In today's video, I want to compare life in Canada and life in Germany, Toronto versus Berlin. So let's talk about financial part, prices on living. In Canada, the housing is really expensive, and I've been noticing that every year the rent was rising at least 100 or even 200 dollars, Canadian dollars. Berlin right now is becoming a little bit more expensive than before, but still it's very affordable. The housing in Canada costs at least twice of the cost in Germany. In Berlin you can get, let's say, studio anywhere from 550 at this time, I would say, an apartment anywhere for 700-800 euros, one bedroom. In Canada it would be anywhere like 2,200 plus. Anything else like attending classes, courses, workshops, they start anywhere from 5 euros, 10 euros. A lot of events and things are free. It's much more cheaper to live in Berlin than in Toronto. The salaries, I would say higher in Toronto still than in Berlin, but this balance of salary versus cost of living is different. So in Berlin there is more room to save up, to enjoy more things. The next point, a social life in Berlin. This is incredible because I really now see the whole scene of social life. Like, I saw how it was buzzing even all these years, starting from professional networking or professional meetup for specific fields of profession and work, and not even talking about hobbies like drawing, singing, music production, some running, activities, bodies, like all of this. And I think it's also possible because in Berlin the population of Berlin is bigger, and the density of population in Germany overall is bigger. If you think that Germany has 88 million of people versus 35, maybe 36 or 37, I don't know, at this time in Canada, but it's still, comparing the size of the country and the distances, more stuff going on in Berlin. Getting a job in Berlin. In North America, the HR using the machines to cut down the huge amount of resumes, and in Germany it's more personal touch. There is a different process of going through resumes, and people are looking into some other things like being creative, being open-minded, being diverse, even living in different countries, having different experiences. But I found they take time personally to reply to you. You will always get a reply, and it's not really like very standard words. Diverse backgrounds in profession and generally is more welcomed here. Even though Toronto is more multicultural, considering that percentage of all generation Canadians living there versus new immigrants. The next, startups. Berlin is a hub for startups, and there are so many entrepreneurs. There are a lot of funds, and there is a lot of support for startups, especially in tech areas. So if you're looking to start your own business, you have some ideas, this place is for you. Berlin is also very artistic, and it's welcoming all the artists, all the musicians all over the world. And because there is 88 million people, for the land size of not even the biggest one in Europe, so working hands are really in need of all sorts of professions. On the other hand, in Canada, there are a lot of funds, a lot of money sitting there and not being used. So if you are applying, then there is a big chance that you are gonna get a fund in some specific areas. I've been going to some entrepreneurial lectures, and I was told by some government representative that at the end of the fiscal year there are those funds are sitting and not being used, so they encourage anyone from, you know, friends of friends, they asking around if there is some musicians that are looking for to fund their new project, new song, or there is any other startup. So they need to show the result. They need to show that this fund is being used. While in Germany there is a good security and social system, these funds are not bottomless, and there are criteria for that. So I feel like in Canada there are more room to wiggle around and get some funds for your startups, for any idea you have. The next, vacation time. So once I've been hired in Canada, and during the time I was signing my contract, I was told that in the first year there will be no vacation whatsoever, and in my second year there will be possibly vacation only if someone will be willing to work extra hours. So I was very surprised, because at least I knew that 2 weeks should be there, but it's not always the case, and a lot of times it could be 10 days of vacation. I was at the position of president at Seneca Student Federation, and I had 3 weeks of vacation there, and plus holidays when university had breaks or some other events. But for other times, 2 weeks is pretty standard. In Germany, like in all Europe, you get 24 days of vacation minimum, even more. In many organizations it's 30 days of vacation, and the vacation time keep growing. Also, I've heard that if you worked extra hours, the employer encouraged you to take more vacation, which is also another side. While in Canada these extra hours will be paid. So at my very first job I was doing 80 hours in Canada, and I was working days and nights, and I was getting good money, so I was also paid overtime. And in Germany it's more of a strict thing, so if you're entitled to 40 hours, you will be working 40 hours, not so much overtime. You're not gonna get paid time and a half. So in Canada there is opportunity to earn more, versus in Germany opportunity to have more vacation time. Now this comes to work-life balance, and of course Europe generally wins for this over North American countries. Are more careeristic, and here, not that I would say people less ambitious, but it's definitely not like there. People enjoying what they're doing and they can stay in the same position for years. I was surprised that people would work for 20 years at the same position, not moving anywhere forward, not changing, not leveling up themselves. Canada is very careeristic. Everyone is racing there, trying to reach the top of their career ladder, always looking for the opportunities to grow within the organization. Now you can see how this also influences the social life. In Germany, people like to finish their work around 4 p.m. It's pretty standard, and just go and have some drinks, have a dinner together, hanging out, spend some free time, do some hobbies. In Canada, I found that people staying really late hours, working overtime, or having 2 jobs, having 3 jobs. I was in the same place when I had 2-3 jobs, and I was very surprised if people just finish the work at 4 and have nothing really to do, no studies, no business, no self-development, just resting. For me, it was mind-blowing, like it's not right. And now I really appreciate this. And well, it is different because everyone is this way, so you have all these groups and communities and friends who also are available at this time. Now you know it's coming, it's a traveling.